Good morning. ReferenceUSA is a source for business and consumer research. There are modules for jobs, verified and updated business information, consumer data for market research, and a module for locating healthcare providers. In this webinar, we will take a very introductory look at a few of the modules. ReferenceUSA can be found by coming to the GoWild.net page and finding it alphabetically. We'll start with the U.S. Businesses module. Notice that when I hover over U.S. Businesses, I have a link to more information and search. When I click on more information, it provides information here on the right-hand side about the database, where its data is coming from, and search criteria. U.S. Businesses is updated every month and includes those who have registered a trade name, filed articles of incorporation, applied for a professional license, and an intent to operate a business. You can identify businesses and your competitors. It can show areas of economic growth and is a resource for vendor and suppliers showing potential clients and customers. I can do a quick search or a custom search. This is the quick search box where I can enter company name or executive name, state, city, or phone. And notice that I can do one or more of these criteria. So let's just start with a broad search. I'm going to look for all the Starbucks in Wyoming and just click View Results. Here's a list of those Starbucks franchises in the state of Wyoming. Each one lists the name, their executive, the street address, what town of Wyoming they're located in, phone number if available, and then notice on the Starbucks we have a corporate tree. Because then you can go to the corporate headquarters. There's an arrow at the far right. If I click on that, it will take me to Starbucks Corporation headquarters, and I can look at the detailed information about that just by clicking on the name for Starbucks. And that gives me all the corporate information, SIC codes, business demographics, which includes number of employers, sales volume. I can also look at stock data, business expenditures, nearby businesses, competitors, and their management directory. I've come back to our list of Starbucks in the state of Wyoming. A few things that we can do with this information. Let's go look at one of these. So let's look at Starbucks in Sheridan. Here we'll find, again, the company name, which is Starbucks, of course, and the website to go to starbucks.com. We also see the local address and information for that local franchise. And if we scroll down, we'll see location employees, sales volume at that location. And we can also look at nearby businesses for the Sheridan Starbucks. Back at my list, I can map these out. So if you were looking to open a Starbucks franchise in the state of Wyoming, you can see where those Starbucks franchises are clustered if you were looking to open one in a new location. Information can be printed out of this resource, so just watch for the print button. So that was a big corporation search with franchises. Let's look at a small business. So I'm going to look at one, a small business in Fort Collins, Colorado. On the main page, we have our cursory information. To go into more detail, I just click on the title of that company. And again, like we saw with the Starbucks, we see our information. Notice it says it's a verified record. They do phone calling verification of businesses. Here it lists the address information, if they have a website, if they have a phone number listed, the SIC codes for this business. Again, you get your location, number of employees, and sales volume. If available, your established number of years in this database and their credit rating score, management directory, and again, nearby businesses. So if you were looking to open your own acupuncture business, you can see what's nearby, and there's a competitors report. So I can see within that area how many other acupuncture clinics and offices are there. In addition to using that link, here at the top, they have something called radius search. So I can put in, say, let's put in 15 miles and find similar businesses under this SIC and NAICS code within a 15-mile radius of that office to help me determine if within a 15-mile radius how many of the similar businesses there are. The other way I can use this radius search, I'm going to put 2 miles in, and now I'm going to find all businesses around that. So for example, you wanted to open a business that catered to a certain clientele. And it seems to be stuck here. So what that would let me do, since it's stuck, we'll just move on here. It would let me find out what's in the area in the 2 miles. So if that search had come up, it would show me that there were yoga studios and bike shops and the CSU campus. And I'm going to go back and see if we can just get that to go here. So say I wanted to open a juice bar. Let's go back, do a new search. I've looked at similar businesses in my area. I've looked at my competitors. And now I want to look at how many of the same sort of business I'd like to open are in the area. And it looks like I'm stuck here. I'm going to stop this one and let's open a new one. So here's our list of all the businesses in a 2-mile radius. And I can see that there are various things. Colorado State University, which might be of interest to my search. The business I'd like to open. There are bike shops. There's a yoga studio. Bodywork studio. So now I'm going to go and look at my specific business type, and I'm going to use that by doing a custom search. So we know what's in the area, we know how many of that sort of business are in the area. Now I'm going to go to business type, and I can do major industry group or a keyword or SIC code, and I'm going to do juice bar and search that. And now I can get my results, my code, so I'm going to add juice bar down here to my search. I'm going to also add some related matches, some specific companies like Jamba Juice and Booster Juice to see what's in my area. Over here on the right hand side, I update my count and I can see that I have 1,700, but I've not narrowed to my geography. So now I'm going to go over here to geography. I want to locate that in the city I'm searching. So I'm going to select Fort Collins again. So I'm trying to build a picture if I was looking to open a new business. Notice that puts it over here in a search, and I could do more than one city. Now I update my count and I see that there's only one in Fort Collins, and I can view that result. And here's the company that's there, where it's located, so I can go into that. The reason I might want to go into this is I find it interesting that in a town the size of Fort Collins and with a college town that there's only one listed. So what I might want to do is look at their industry profile and use some of these other SIC codes and try to broaden my search to be sure before I look at writing my business plan and putting a juice bar in that area that I've identified with the yoga studios, the acupuncturists, and the bicycle shops. Another way to use this U.S. businesses search is if you were trying to locate a company within a location. So I'm going to put in Wild Iris, and I know it's in Wyoming somewhere, and I want more information about it. Now it's telling me Wild Iris is located in Lander, Wyoming. I can go into the record. Again, I have my detail. There's their website information. But if I'm trying to locate where this is, I can print the map out of where Wild Iris is located in Lander, Wyoming. Another module related to the businesses here is one called U.S. New Businesses. Again, I can click on more information. This is updated weekly, and this might be important in your communities to see what sort of economic growth there is and what sort of needs those new businesses will have for goods and services. I can put in a town, so for example, I'm going to put in Gillette. And notice I can show results from a variety of time frames. So I can pick the last 6 months, the last 2 years, the last 2 weeks to get that growth detail. Now I've got a list showing me in the last 6 months these businesses have started up in Gillette, Wyoming. I can sort them a bit. I can get a summary of them. I can get details about them, or I can go into specific information about an individual business and what sort of work they do. The next module we're going to look at is the U.S. jobs and internships. I'm going to click on more information. This is ReferenceUSA combining with a job site called Indeed.com. I can again do a quick search or a custom search. If I do a quick search, it's asking me for a job title, a keyword, or a company name. I'm going to put in soccer coach, and I can put in where I'd like to find this job. So I'm going to put in Wyoming and look at my results. In my list, you'll notice at the top it's telling me I only have one result here, and that's head athletic trainer at Laramie County Community College. If that wasn't quite what I was looking for, I may need to go back and revise my search, and I can select a region on a map, or I may just want to add a new state. So you have a variety of ways of looking for where you want to pursue a job. Now I can put my results again, now looking for soccer coach in Colorado. And here's my list. I can select one by clicking on the job title, and this gives me the information about this job, the title, position type, contract length, etc., and then the information on who to contact for that job position. I can go back out to the new search box and let's take a look at custom search. In the custom search, if I want to be a little more broad, I can put in keywords, phrases, company names, show types of jobs, so full-time, part-time, internships, a salary estimate, a location, and how old the job publication is. Also on both the quick search and the custom search page on the far right, you'll find a link to job help. Because they partner with this Indeed.com, they also have some other topics: aptitude testing, career education, interview tips, resume writing, job search tips, etc. And they bring the quick search and custom search links along to that page. Just a reminder that we also have Learning Express Library to help with job search skills, and you'll find that at gowild.net. There's a healthcare module providing information on physicians and dentists. This is used by consumers to locate a physician or dentist, or by allied health field for potential customers. Here on the quick search page, I can look up the name or office name and city and towns, or in the custom search, it gives me a few more options. If I click on physicians and dentists, I can look at name, title, gender. So if you wanted a female physician, you could click on gender and select that. I can click on title, which lets me select whether I want a dentist or doctor of medicine. I can select group, so whatever their office name or manager might be. But now I want to use geography, and again I'm going to do city, which allows me to select a state and then a town. And notice it logs it over here in my field. I can update my count. So there's only one record. What that might tell me is I want to come back down here and either add another town in Wyoming, or I can go in and I could also add, for example here, I could add Idaho. And now it's looking at both Alpine, Idaho, and Alpine, Wyoming, and Driggs, Idaho. Update my count, and now I have 4, and I can review my results. And now I have a list of dentists within my area with phone numbers, and if I go into each one of those, of course, it will give me information about that practice and that doctor. It gives the name, their specialty, if they're board certified, prescriptions per week, and their location. And I can download or print this information. It also gives you the office name, and each one of these I could search by office name or by the doctor's name. I'm going to come back out to the quick search, and let's just put in, if you were looking for a specific physician or dentist, I can put in a name and a state, and like we did with the business, it will show me where in Wyoming that person or those people are. Now here's specific doctors' names with that last name and where they are in the state of Wyoming. And again, we can go in and look at that physician, look at their specialty, look at their year of graduation if it's available, prescriptions per week, etc. The next module we'll look at is consumers and lifestyles. You can use this module to conduct market research and locate people. You can create a marketing list, a customer list, do a competitive analysis, find your target market. So I'm going to go into custom search. And again, we have our search targets here. I can search by name. If you have a phone, or search by area code, geography, housing, if you're looking for specific income or home value, lifestyles, or a consumer snapshot. Let's begin with some cities here. I'm going to select Wyoming. And I'm going to select Lander and select Riverton. And now I'm going to go into my lifestyles, and it pops open a box that I can populate under lifestyles. So what I'm looking for my market research is health, diet and fitness, outdoor recreation, and sports. I can update my count, and then I can go review those results. Once I have my results list up, I can sort the zip codes. For example, if I want to combine all the Landers and all the Rivertons together, I can look at these on a map. I can get a summary, and I can download and print now my customer list. I can review the tabs. So for example, since I put in sports, maybe my list is awfully high and I really don't want hockey, soccer. I'm looking more at the outdoor sports. So I can edit and take these off, and it will start to change my count. And that's how I can narrow down my market list. I can also use this, like I mentioned, to find a person, or I can find income. I can find income and lifestyle values and keep creating that list just by using my quick search or my custom search. Here in my quick search, I also have a lifestyle category. So I could put in Casper, Wyoming, for example, and I could put in a lifestyle category and again get a list. Then I could narrow it by income, home ownership, marital status, things like that. If I want to find a name, I'm trying to find cousins for a reunion, for example, I can put names in and view the results. So I can find both businesses, create a market list, or look for people. In addition to using the consumers and lifestyles list to look for people, they also include the standard white pages here. This gives you information about where they're collecting that. And again, I can do a search. Using the standard white pages. At the top of this page, you'll find a link for About Us, which talks about ReferenceUSA and the sort of information they provide. A data quality tab talking about the information, where it's coming from, how they verify. There's a tab for Take a Tour, where you'll find a couple of videos on how to find a business or using ReferenceUSA and creating a business. There's also a tab called Resource Center. Here you'll find some additional tutorials. Here are the topics that they have some additional tutorials. So for example, under business searching, if you were working with somebody to start up a business, here's build and download a list of businesses, print a list of businesses, different ways to find a business or industry, all these short videos that you have access to. They also have a webcast, and there's their spring schedule tab. Under library resource, you'll see a download and print tab. Here you'll find sample search sheets that you can print out. You can customize a brochure or bookmarks that you can print out and provide for classes that you're doing in the library, student research, and then at the bottom is a poster and flyer for using this to find jobs. So if folks are coming into your library looking for jobs and other locations for information, this would be a great poster to print out. And at the bottom you can download how to use the business database, a flyer, and a training piece for that. In addition to those tutorials, the Wyoming State Library offers some information to help you with our databases. The first ones can be found here in the middle of the GoWild.net page, Browse Go Wild Resources in LibGuides. If you click on that, you'll see an alphabetic link, but here at the top, if you click on Guides at the top left, it will give you a list of those research guides created to help you manage all of our GoWild.net resources. Also on the State Library homepage, you'll find a link to the webinar archive where you'll find database webinars. You'll also find a link to the Wild Databases blog. Here you'll find updated information on ways to use the Go Wild resources, as well as updates to our resources, and if there's changes to their format, changes to their platforms, downtime, things like that, you'll find here on the Wild Databases blog, linked from the Wyoming State Library homepage. That concludes this webinar on ReferenceUSA. You'll notice that they have great resources on their website for you to use for training and updating yourself on this resource and providing information to your patrons. Thanks for joining in.